That's not a good sign.
No, it's not a good sign.
Not at all. What's going on, guys? Today we're getting some more work done on the roll cage in Trevor's Civic. So we left off last time with getting the main hoop and halo bent for this thing. And I just now pulled all this stuff out and I got the main hoop notched on the ends right here. I just put each of these ends into the bandsaw, nipped off a little bit and then rounded them off with the angle grinder. So now when I grab this halo, set it onto our main hoop, you can see that the ends fit the tube really nice. So that is going to make it really good to weld. No gaps hardly at all. And I have all this out of the car right now because I am getting ready to sand the ends off right here, clean them up on this end, and then right here on the bar where it's going to be welded. And then after I get that cleaned up, I'm gonna throw it back in the car. We have our ratchet strap going around the roof right now to hold the halo in place where it needs to be. And I was using that to you know, make those notches. Right now we're actually getting the sound deadening pulled out of the car. We went and got some dry ice, and Roman and Amelia are working hard on getting all that stuff pulled out because we need all that sound deadening out of the way to weld our plates to the floor. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get this cleaned up, and then I'll be putting the main hoop back into the car, put the halo back in there, and I'm gonna go ahead and get it tacked up, and then we can move on from there. We'll get the dash loosened up. We'll take these guys out. We need to get our holes drilled through there so then we can run our front bars and just keep going at it. Oh yeah, we're just about done there. Look at the pile we got going on. Oh yeah. Save Trevor some weight. Yep. And we're not gonna be making any dry ice bombs today. No. We learned our lesson. We got a little reckless last time, even though it's tempting, you know.
I got one right there. I got 3 of them actually right there.
We got some water bottles, you know.
Just in case.
But no, we got some stuff to do today, so we're not going to be messing around with that. All right, we're taking a break to check out Todd's car. He just got this thing back together and he's getting ready to make a pull with it on the dyno because he had some issues with it in the past. Didn't want to like shift and stuff, right?
Yeah, the tranny was acting up. It was locking me out, so I didn't even attempt to go to the last race because I didn't want to hurt it. Brand new everything pretty much in the motor.
Yeah, just completely went through it. Now he made sure that the tranny's shifting correctly, fresh bottom end, and gonna see what she can do today. So
yeah,
I'm excited.
Let's see this thing rip.
Yep, and these are the same turbos that I'm running on the MR2, guys, so this will just show what they're capable of. I mean, I've already seen this thing make like 960, so yeah. We'll see what she does. Twin turbo time!
I told you, this baby's gonna rock.
Well, guys, been working pretty hard the last 5 or 6 hours on Trevor's roll cage. We got really far on this thing today. So we started off this morning with Emilio and Roman working on getting the sound deadening pulled out of this thing. We dry iced it all out, and then we got all the sound deadening removed from the car. And then we also got our holes drilled through the floor. We got the halo tack to the main hoop right here. And then we just finished up making these down bars that go through the dash. We had to completely unbolt the dash just so we could kind of tilt the dash back and get these in here. And then we could also kind of pull back on this halo some. And then you can see we have this ratchet strap right here kind of helping hold everything up into place right now. And the last thing I'm going to be doing for today is pulling these back out right here and cleaning off this end right there, and then clean around this surface. And I will be getting these down bars tacked to the halo right here, and then that will be ready to go. We had to pull like the glove box off, pretty much everything off the dash had to come apart because we literally had to loosen it to drop it down quite a bit. And then over here there was a metal bracket that went right here underneath the dash because that was in the way of where the cage needed to go, but we got that cut out of the way, and that is done. We got our holes drilled through the dash right there through the factory defrost vents. And like I just said, we got done notching these out right here, and those fit up really nice. So that is gonna be a easy joint to weld. Spent a lot of time with the angle grinder on those, making sure everything butts up nice together all the way around. I'm really happy with how these came out. You can see how nice that butts up all the way around. So that's gonna come out awesome. And yeah, overall, really happy with how it's fitting. Everything's looking nice and tight. And if you look at the car from the outside, you won't even be able to tell that there is a roll cage in this thing because the pillars and side of the car hide all of it. And then if you look at it from the front right here, I made sure everything was nice and even. Both bars coming through right there. Looks sweet. And then I did this a little bit different than how my hatch was. My hatch, this was more straight and over. On Trevor's, I gave it as much kick over to the side as I could just to help his visibility on the driver's side. So that should work out really good. So that's where we're at for right now on Trevor's Civic, and we are taking a break from that because I'm actually getting ready to throw the Prelude on the dyno before we reach our curfew because we have to shut down early because of noise, because we do have surrounding neighbors. So we want to get the Prelude on the dyno today because there's a test and tune tomorrow, and if I can figure this thing out tonight, then I would like to bring it to that because we still haven't tried to figure out the issue with it when it was in Texas. We don't know what was going on with it. So we're getting ready to throw it on the dyno right now and see if we can't get this thing figured out. And then after we see how this goes on the dyno, I'm gonna come back and get that stuff tacked on Trevor's Civic, but I'm really happy with how that was coming out. We also had to add this painter's tape up here just to hold up his headliner, if you guys were wondering what that was for, because he took his mirror and stuff off and the headliner was drooping after the windshield got pulled out. So we just taped that up to keep it out of the way. But yeah, let's get this Prelude on the dyno. No power.
No power.
That's the issue.
None.
Only made 686. So this was how much? 40 pounds? Damn. So maybe something's up with the VTEC. We checked the solenoid and it was clicking and the screen wasn't clogged, but this is the graph before we left to Texas, how it should be. And then this is what we got, you know, just nothing. So something's up. But Brent's saying it still made 40 pounds. So the boost is there.
Yeah.
Fuel's there.
Yeah,
it must be something with VTEC, because that's kind of what the Routacy was doing a while back.
Exactly what the Routacy was doing.
You don't have VTEC, it changes it completely. It just kills the car. So yeah, she ain't making any power.
You need that.
Yeah, we need that VTEC if that's what it is.
Yep.
This one's just for the pressure sensor.
Itself.
And then that's just to activate the solenoid. As long as the oil pressure's there, it'll activate. And
everything else is good, so.
Unless something in the ECU or the wire itself or a fuse is bad.
Yeah.
So we have to just check what's up. It's looking like VTEC though.
Yeah.
I don't know what else it could be.
I mean, we could rig it real quick and you could do what a Kyle fix and just tap it on some power.
I'll
make a short pull just to see.
Just to see if it comes up?
Yeah, it's super simple. And
all right, and then you just give me like a thumbs up and I'll hit it.
Yeah, I might just run a wire to your power probe and then.
So we just got a wire on the VTEC solenoid. I just got to go get my power probe to manually power that up and test it. It does click fine, so unless something's up with the wiring or there's like a fuse blown controlling that. I'm not sure why the VTEC wouldn't be working, or if the ECU is just not triggering it for some reason. But another thing we did do when we were in Texas is we put this timing belt pulley on there to give the timing belt some tension, and that might have messed with the timing a little bit. So right now Brent's double checking that. So that could also be a factor. Yeah, it does look like it's barely rubbing on the dipstick too, but yeah, it's not a big deal. So we just pulled the crank pulley off just to double check the timing. We got it at top dead center with the cams lined up, and Brent just wanted to double check that that was not the issue. And it appears the timing is all good, so it might just come down to this VTEC solenoid. All right, we just double checked the timing. All is good there. We got the pulley back on. We took that off just to double check. Alternator's tight again. Now we have a power probe running to the VTEC solenoid. So we have the power probe right there. When Jamie gives that power, it clicks our VTEC solenoid. So he's going to manually be hitting the solenoid during a pull to see if that is the issue. See if she lights up. Yep. Jamie is the VTEC. So we're gonna make another pull and see if that changes anything. I think a wastegate might be messed up, or the solenoid. Yeah, something's fluttering.
Like you might be hitting.
Something does not sound right on the gates. It almost sounds like a Subaru.
Yeah,
like an STI. It's like.
Yeah, I heard that from over there. I wasn't sure if it was tire skip or what.
Yeah.
I think there's something up with the boost. What? It's making 40 pounds, he said. So I'm not sure what's going on.
Making 40 and then
Just change it out completely. All right. Brent says change the solenoid completely. Because just because it's clicking doesn't mean it's good.
And if it doesn't work, we can use mine. If it don't work, we might have other problems.
So we're swapping the VTEC solenoid out right now. Just trying to chase this issue. It was clicking though.
Yeah. I mean, all else, we got maybe some rocker issue.
Yeah. It's not like actually engaging.
This, right. We'll try this first, and then get the head in there. Let's just lock them.
Yep. It has good oil and oil pressure, so should be locking those cams up. All right, another VTEC solenoid is on the car, and we plugged it back in. We are no longer on the power probe, so we'll see if this changes anything. She is not having it.
Not having it.
It's not VTEC. It's not timing. Yeah, maybe it's something in the valve train. Probably have to pull the valve cover and see what's up. Well, we just pulled the valve cover. Everything looks to be in order, so we're gonna go ahead and throw that back together, and we're gonna double check that the ignition timing is on point. And Brent wants to try to play with the fuel a little bit just to double check that the injector driver didn't go out of whack or something, and it's just dumping fuel, because he did say it is pretty rich right now, but he said it shouldn't be enough fuel to really make it do what it's doing. But yeah, that's where we're at for right now. So all we can do is just keep chasing it, the problem, see what it's doing. Well, we were getting ready to do another pull on it, and we might have found something pretty scary about the Prelude. Told Brent to stop because I noticed the oil pressure gauge was at 0 when it was idling, and I know for a fact this oil pressure gauge does work. Every time I go to the track before I make a hit, I always keep an eye on my oil pressure gauge, and it is a mechanical one, so it's not electronic. Has a hard line right there going to it, so there's a good chance that maybe on that first pass in Texas where it was turned way up, it could have shattered the oil pump, and then we made 2 more passes after that with no oil pressure, and then we've been on the dyno. It is a possibility that that's what it is. We are not going to fire it up anymore in case that is the case, and then we're going to go bring it over to the lift and pull the pan off this thing and double check the bearings and see if we did any damage, because I am pretty sure we have no oil pressure right now, and that would explain a lot, because with no oil pressure, VTEC can't engage, and that would make sense.
That would explain our whole universe.
Yeah.
We shattered a pump.
Two-step in Texas, the launch in
There was
Texas,
something that
everything.
went on with third gear and the smoke and stuff, and maybe it was then that something happened.
Oh, yep.
After that pool, it wasn't the same.
Yeah, we might have shattered an oil pump on that first pass. Because Brent said he's done it on the pass. When you're making all that crazy power, turning crazy RPM, they can let go.
You can rattle it and shatter the
It is just a factory oil pump.
Yeah. Would you make 2 passes after that too?
Yeah, I did 2 passes after that. And then just all the dyno runs today.
And you've loaded it and unloaded it in and out of the trailer.
Well, I'm really hoping we didn't hurt her.
Well, it doesn't sound bad.
Doesn't sound bad, yeah, it runs pretty good. So,
But either way, we're re-bearing.
yeah. Time for some bearings on the... You'll be okay, girl. She's going in for surgery.
Roman holding an old pan
This
again.
is what I do. Oh, that was kind of cool. You see that? I didn't even touch it. It just came out with the ratchet. Ooh, that's some steamy oil.
Yep. Look at, it's like water.
Where's the flashlight at? Oh, she's hot.
Steamy.
Steamy.
There's metal in there.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
That's not a good sign.
No, it's not a good sign.
Not at all.
There's a bolt
There
in
was
there.
no oil pressure.
It's got a washer. There's another bolt in here. There's a washer on it.
Yeah, we had one of these rattle out.
Whatever was happening was just happening. We might just have a layer.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's not too bad.
You're catching stuff right now. This is called catching stuff.
I wish we should have seen that oil pump sooner. That is.
Yeah, it's gonna be hot, guys. That is in one piece.
The pump looks okay.
Right there.
Right there.
Right there, it's in one piece. It might be the other side.
Here. Can take a look at her aluminum rods in there. You can see where they had to notch the girdle and re-weld it right here because of how big they are. They grind this girdle down so far that there's a hole, and then they have to weld back over it to fill
Take a
that
look
up.
in the shaft to see.
I'm gonna turn it over right now and just.
The oil pump isn't turning.
The oil pump isn't turning?
No.
That's it.
Yep.
So see the gears right there?
Yeah,
See the
I
shiny
see it.
spot?
It's not
Get
turning.
back up there, bro. Look.
I think we shattered that
It's
pump.
not
Yep,
turning at
it's
all.
just staying still.
Shattered the key.
Shattered the
Yep. The center.
Damn.
The pin.
Damn.
She broke the pump.
It's a good thing you had 7 or 8 quarts in this bitch.
Yeah, you did have a lot in it.
But
Well-
we'll check all the bearings, obviously, because we have some material, but I don't think he killed it.
Think it might be okay?
We're gonna find out.
Yeah, I mean there was some material in the pan, so
Yeah.
hopefully it's not too bad. But you never know.
Crank's not blue.
Yeah, there's
rods
no
are-
heat spots on the crank, so.
Yeah, rods look good. We're just gonna have to pull everything out. Look. We can pull all these 14s and knock the mains off right now.
Yeah.
We can do that. That's how you do these.
Might as well
caps.
real quick. It's only a couple minutes away.
Yeah.
We'll have some peace of mind, know what we need for tomorrow. Damn, well, she definitely ate up a pump. Now you know that gauge did work.
The gauge did work.
It was just at 0. I was like, yo, that's not
Dude,
right.
that's wild.
And you were about to go for another rip. And I was like, hey, shut that off.
Damn God.
I know, and I didn't check the oil pressure at all after that first pass. I literally checked it once when we fired it up when we got to Texas. I knew it was good, and everything's a blank space in my mind after that. I don't remember looking at it.
Crazy. It said so. I mean, back in the day, I would bring a transmission and an oil pump to every race. That's
Damn.
what.
Yep, back in the day, Brent had the same issues with
We
his
don't have a
H's.
damper on it. We have a stock pulley. So if it rattles, like, there's nothing to save it.
Yeah, the stock pulley definitely doesn't help.
No.
We need to get a ATI on there.
That would help a lot. Saves the pulley.
Yep.
Because you get a crazy harmonic through the whole crank and it just shatters that gear.
Especially when you're turning like over 9,000 and up.
Yeah.
Just gonna pull the mains and drop the girdle and check on everything.
Cool. Just pop that bitch off.
Where's your glove, Shane? It's hot.
That shit's fucking burning.
Yeah, she's fresh off the dyno hot.
Fresh off the dyno with no oil in it.
Oh, there it goes. Got it?
Bearing stuck to the crank.
Yep.
It's never good.
Oh, yep, not a good sign.
You got one put it down?
I need a screwdriver. I see metal in this one.
Definitely.
Number
Yep.
3, I see it.
Here.
We have some damage. How bad is it?
Just started, man.
Just started.
See the crank? Like, see the crank?
There's a little bit of metal
here.
Yeah, we probably need to pull it and clean it.
Yep.
Yep.
Let's do that.
Pull it, clean it, check it,
You
put
can
it right
see-
back.
Hurt the Prelude.
material right there from the other side.
Hey, but we're catching it.
Yeah, we caught it
good
early.
time,
We
man.
caught it early.
You can probably get away with
just bearings and
polishing the crank, put new bearings in it, run. Easy.
But the motor is gonna have to come out.
Oh, yeah, see that
Just to
one's
get
coming
the
off
metal
by
out.
finger.
You just want to get the metal.
Oh yeah, that one doesn't
That
look
one
bad
came
at all.
off by
That one's
finger.
good.
Yeah.
Is there metal up
You
there,
can
though?
see the metal in there. Yeah. Like shoved in there. Just in that one though.
So we gotta check this. Well, we gotta check all the rod caps.
Yeah.
But
You have to pull the whole thing apart.
we can let it cool and then we can push the top bearings out.
Yeah.
Yeah, roll them out.
Pull the oil pump. Might be able to do it all right here. It's all gonna depend on how clean it gets.
Yep.
If you can't get it clean, it's gotta come apart.
Yeah.
So today ended with some pretty disappointing news. Looks like we did hurt the Prelude a little bit, but we may have been really lucky and we might have caught it just in time. This bearing right here is a little beat up, but all the others do look okay. Brent's thinking there's a chance we might be able just to polish it in there and change out the bearings and it'll be okay because the crank is still really in good shape all the way around. There's still oil everywhere, so there's no pressure, but at least the oil was on there. And yeah, we're just gonna have to wait until we pull the caps tomorrow. We're just gonna wait because there's no point to rush it right now. It's still really hot. And we'll just double check how the rod bearings are looking. And then we'll just kind of make our decisions from there. But yep, we definitely shattered that oil pump. So that makes sense now with what happened. That first pass was ripping.
Yep.
Crazy. And it was probably all that spinning, all that wheel spin is probably what made it break.
All of it. Tire shake, wheel spin, harmonics, crazy running up to the rev limiter.
Yep, it is a
Being
factory,
unloaded.
completely stock factory oil pump. So they can only handle so much, and this thing makes crazy amount of power. And Brent said he's ran into that same issue in the past all the time with his CRX that had an H in it. He was swapping oil pumps at the track because they were shattering because he tried to take it to like 10,000 or something. But yep, that's where we're at. And then also another thing, hopefully the turbo is in good shape. You can see there's this really thin line that was starting to build up, so it did have some play, but that's probably due to no oil pressure whatsoever. So we're just really hoping that once we get this fixed, that the oil pressure running back through that will straighten her back out. The shaft doesn't feel like it has too much play. It still feels really good and spins smooth. So hoping the turbo lived, but I mean, she made 2 passes and like how many dyno pulls with 0 oil pressure?
Too many.
It still went 11.9. A 121 with 0 oil pressure.
It's the fastest Honda with no oil pressure.
Has to be.
And then that makes
Good thing
sense.
you had so much oil in it.
I guess, yeah, I always
I don't
overfill them a little bit just to make sure, because I know it blows into the catch can, so I always, you know, give it an extra half or full quart. You know, we were assuming it was something with the solenoid this whole time. That's what it looked like. It was just the oil pressure itself. The solenoid was clicking, but it didn't have the pressure to lock up VTEC.
It was the worst case scenario.
It's worst
So-
case scenario. Actually, worst case is a whole window in the block. And we don't have that.
I mean, yeah, we could have wrecked the pump that pass like we did, and then the second pass, it just let go.
I mean, all else fails if we have to go get a crankshaft. These cranks at the junkyard are literally like
I have one.
$50.
I already have one.
Well, this is H23.
Oh,
This isn't a
H23?
22.
Okay, no, I do have a 22.
This is like, we'd get them from a 90 to 94 cord.
Yep.
That's it.
And just get one repolished up and throw it back in. But it would suck to pull the whole motor out and stuff. But that's just
Imagine-
what it is.
That's racing
That's just
now.
what it is.
What it is.
Imagine if the VTEC was locked. They'd be fucked.
Oh, yeah.
Because you would have had all the power, everything. You would have just.
Oh yeah.
Hang
If
on,
we
if the
locked the
VTEC was
VTEC,
locked,
then
Yeah.
we wouldn't have needed the oil pressure. It would have been to the
Well, it
moon.
was interesting too, because you guys saw a bunch of oil in the head too, and you pulled the valve cover like it just been.
Yeah, there was all kinds of oil up in the head.
So that's how much.
When we pulled
oil
the valve,
doesn't drain back to the.
yeah.
Man.
When we pulled the valve cover, I was like, "There's oil." I thought there was oil pressure because of how wet it was up there.
Yeah.
So
He's over here whispering. He's got 3 cranks over there if you need one.
Shane got cranks on deck, bro. But that's where we're at on the Prelude. So luckily the damage isn't catastrophic. We caught it very early. Should have looked at my oil pressure gauge sooner, but you know, that's just it.
You always look.
I know, every single pass, ever since the Wago days where I was freaking losing oil pressure and blowing my D series up, every pass I pull up looking at the gauge. So I don't know why this time I didn't. I was pretty sure I was just lost in my own head, you know, just wondering why else it wasn't running right. I wasn't thinking about the oil pressure. I was like, why isn't this not running right? I had other things going on in my mind, and you know, that's just what it is. So yeah, due to that news, I am not going to be tacking the stuff on Trevor's Civic today because I want to go home for tonight. We've been up messing with this, so we'll get back to his roll cage tomorrow, and that will be that. So we'll keep you guys updated with where we're at on the Lude tomorrow, and that is going to be it for tonight. So is what it is. Like all the comments when I found out the block was cracked on the MR2, the comments were like, take a shot every time Kyle says, is what it is. Because every clip I was like, is what it is, guys. You know, is what it is. We got the motor out.
It is what
we got to
it is.
rebuild it. Is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
That's what it is.
For real, this time it is what it is.
But yeah, is what it is. So we'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. Bye.